Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. So yeah, we gotta talk about Diddy. P. Diddy. You know, there's a lot of people talking about Diddy. A lot of reports being spreaded across the mainstream media, and you know, a lot of the big networks they talking about it, you know. But the funny thing is, a lot of the big networks keep talking about stuff that happened in the past, like the video with him and Cassie on it, where, you know, Diddy's basically whipping her ass. She getting stumped out in the video. But that don't got nothing to do with the case, though. I find that very interesting. And see, that's kind of an old trick that they used to use. They still use it. See, this is how the game is being played. Regardless of what you think about Diddy, what I'm about to say, really, this goes beyond this goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Put your feelings to the side for a second. Put what you think to the side for a second. But it's the same old game, right? Now, they say that what happens in the past is in the past. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, he ain't the same person no more, blah, 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 this and that or whatever, right? But then they'll use the past against you when they see fit, right? Now this happens on jobs. It even happens on jobs. It happens within society, happens on jobs. Now, if you go, let's say you go fill out a job application. Let's say you have a misdemeanor or a felony, something that you don't want to put on your application, right? Or they might ask you in your application, hey, if anything ever happened with you in the past, we won't hold it against you. They don't actually say that on the application, right? It says it. But we know they're going to use that against you. We know it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? They'll even ask you on the application, they'll ask you about your sexual gender or how you identify. Are you a trans or bisexual or gay or straight or whatever, right? And they'll say, well, this won't be held against you. You know, you've been like this. The past won't be held against you as far as your gender and how you identify, right? But if you put that, if you answer that and put that you had a misdemeanor or you're gay, trans, or however you identify, it's going to be used against you. And you're not going to even be qualified to get that job. We know how this shit works. See, I'm born and raised here in America. We know how corrupt the system is. We know the games that a lot of the white people play. We're not naive how this shit work out here. Now, people that come from other places, they play dumb or they want to kiss ass. Well, that's their prerogative, right? But we know better. We know how shit is corrupt. We know this. It ain't like we ain't dumb to it. We seen this play out with plenty of black people, from the local person in your town, your city, to the black celebrities on television. We see this play out with Cosby. We see this play out with Prince, Michael Jackson. We seen this play out. This ain't no new play for us. So if we know the system is corrupt, I can't. And whenever a black person get into some type of jam or being accused of something, I'm highly suspect of what these charges is really all about. I'm highly suspect because we know that it's more than likely it's much deeper than what they're saying when it comes to us. We already know. You know what I'm saying? Now, most people from these, for example, let's take a black person that's from overseas somewhere. A lot of these people are kind of colonized. So they'll be like, the black person says it, oh, it must be true, right? And let's take somebody that's from, I don't know, China, Japan, or Asia somewhere. They'll look around, okay, if the majority rule with them, so they'll just go along with it. They'll believe, right? And then you got everybody else is going to be somewhere in between. But they'll look at the white people. The white people said it. The majority of those people, the Latin, people, or they don't believe it, because if the majority rules, most people are sheep, right? They don't even have to. They're not going to even look at the information. They'll just take it at face value. But us, I've been taught not to take things at face value, because I understand how corrupt the system is. And it's been that way for a long. It's been that way even before I was born. So when I see somebody like Diddy, Cosby, Prince, Michael Jackson, the only person that got a fair trial was O.J. Simpson. But when I see these other guys, they got millions of dollars. They can afford to pay for the best attorneys. If I get in a jam, I can't afford to pay for an attorney. I don't have money to pay for an attorney like that. I can't pay $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million to an attorney. I can't afford it. I can't do it. So if I see somebody like Puffy going through this, I'd be like, shit, what's going to happen to me if I get into a jam like this? You might say, well, that would never happen to me. Well, shit, how do you know? You don't necessarily have to be doing anything wrong to get jammed up or to catch a case. I mean, people lie on people all the time. Shit, it only takes one white woman to make up some shit, and you fucked. And especially if you can't afford an attorney. I mean, shit. I think from what I've been hearing, on a sexual assault or type of case, or rape charge type of case, shit, the average attorney is probably want $100,000, but he don't even want to talk to you until you put up $100,000, $200,000. I mean, a murder case, $200,000. They don't even want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So a high profile case like a celebrity, shit, you got to have, man, probably $500,000. And then it's going to be more than one attorney on the team as well. Shit. The average person can't afford that shit. Even the average white person can't afford that shit. But see, the average white person don't have to worry about that type of shit, because it takes a lot for a white person, a white man, or even a white woman to get jammed up. They got to damn near have bodies and be like a psychopath or pedophile. and got to be tied to some type of group and got to have tattoos and all kind of shit for them to get catch some type of RICO charge or something like that. I mean, it takes a lot for a white man or a white woman to get arrested. Like Harvey Weinstein, you know how hard it was for him to get arrested? And now he's out of jail. He should be home by now. You know? And the guys like that, like white guys with money, they usually don't go to jail. And even if they do go to jail, they get out. They appeal. And they usually get out. But most white guys with money usually don't go to jail. They don't even see the light of day in jail. Not even close. They don't even go to court. It usually ain't no charge. Usually pay somebody off and shut the fuck up. So we know how corrupt the system is. Yeah, we understand it. We ain't ignorant to the shit. You know, a lot of these other people come over here and they want to jump on the bandwagon, and that's what you see online. You know, and I'm never going to, let's just be clear. Let me tell you something. I'm never going to go against or believe in a corrupt system. Never, ever will do that. I'm never going to automatically think somebody's guilty based on what somebody says within this corrupt system. No, I'm never going to do that shit. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm just assuming that whatever's going on, there's some corrupt shit going on with somebody. Somebody said or done something, you know. And what is Puffy being charged for? From what I've been hearing, he just being charged for being a freak, having freak parties, freaking off, getting down and dirty, and he's flew the girls over to have a good time and smash. People do that shit all the time. That ain't nothing new. Ain't nobody put no gun in nobody's head and made them come to the party. There's plenty of people that went to Puff's party. Probably some of these politicians. And that's probably the main reason why he's in jail. Because Puff has been known to record people at his parties. And some of these people probably found out about it and they want those tapes. And they came to his house the first time and they took some tapes, but I guess they didn't find what they wanted. So more than likely, that's what this shit is really about. It's not really about having women fly in. People do that. People have parties like that all the time in this country. People have sex parties all the time. This ain't nothing new. Man, your wife or your girlfriend probably went to some sex party with somebody. It ain't necessarily got to be Puff's party, but people have these type of parties all the time. Your girlfriend probably went to one of these parties when she was in college, or your wife probably went to one of these parties when she was in college. These type of parties happen all the time. They're private parties. People don't talk about it, but this ain't nothing new. And see, the laws are so broad today. Now, there's plenty of guys have flew women out to see them. And usually, the intent might not be to have sex, but it still happens. So if you're going to say, well, he flew those women out there, and at the sex, and they went to the sex party and had sex. Well, shit, you gotta arrest everybody then, if that's the case, because the intent might not be to have sex. The intent is to see the person and get to know them better. You know, and to see they hit Puff with the Mann Act. It was and even the Mann Act is kind of racialized because it was created by a boxer back in the day. I forgot, he was a heavyweight boxer, and he used to fuck with a lot of white women, and he used to have a lot of white women with him, and he used to drive across state line, and that's how they got him. They hit him with the Mann Act, and they call that cross country sex trafficking. But it's a really a bogus charge. That shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? But it just came up with that shit. You know, but the shit is bogus. It's bogus. I mean, anybody can catch it. Just anybody. Okay, any guy that's been around a lot of women and have got in his car and drove out of state into another state with a woman, he can get the same charge as Puffy, if that's the case. And then they say, well, he used his influence to I guess manipulate people to do, men and women, to do certain things. I'm like, you can't manipulate nobody to do nothing. If they want to fuck, they're gonna fuck. Or if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. At the end of the day, you can't pressure nobody, no man or no woman to do nothing sexually. What the hell is this nonsense? This shit don't work like that. And see, you got a lot of nerds that online, and they work in a court system, and they actually believe this type of shit. You know, there's some guys that, at least in their minds, don't understand why certain women act the way they do in the presence of you ain't gotta be a celebrity. You can just be a guy that's just, he's just that type of dude. There's some women some guys just don't understand that shit. Why would a woman want to sleep with a guy like him? Why would a woman want to hang with a guy like him? There's some guys just don't understand that shit. Just like I give you an example. There's a lot of white guys don't understand why a white woman would want to fuck with a black dude. They just don't understand that. There's some white guys, a lot of white guys believe. They don't believe in casual sex they don't believe in casual sex between a white woman and a black male. They don't believe it. They believe either this bitch is a hoe or she on drugs, something. Because they can't make sense of it. Because they done so much shit to us to ruin our reputation and to make us look bad in the media. So they say, why would a white woman want to even be with this nigga? It's that mentality that exists out here. And there's millions of white guys that think like this, by the way. You work with them. They're at your job. You work with them 5 days a week. They think like this. And you probably been working around them 5 or 10 years and you never knew they were like this because you work with them. You don't really know them personally. You don't really know what they do in their personal life or how they think or where they hang out at. You just think, oh, he's just a good old redneck fella. You know, old Bill is pretty cool. I ain't had no problems with him. Yeah, because y'all just work together. You ain't never been to his house. He might have been to your house, but you ain't never been to his house. And that should tell you something. You ain't never been to his house, but he been to your house. He know where you live, but you don't know where he live. Oh, okay. You know. So what you have with Diddy, regardless of what you think about him, have I heard some bad stuff that he done? Yeah. Have I heard some good stuff he done? Yeah. You know. Now, did I agree with the video? with him and Cassie, him beating down. Now I disagree with that shit. That shit was horrible. But regardless of what you think, the video ain't got nothing to do with this case. He ain't being charged for domestic violence. He ain't being charged for that. He's being charged for sex trafficking. You know, that it hit him with the Mann Act. That's what he's being charged for. And the shit is bogus. And we haven't heard really no details. We haven't really heard no details. We just heard broad little shit where this guy, I guess the DA went up there and went to the podium and started rambling, talking about freak off. And I'm like, yeah, but what is he being charged with? What is the charges? Like, he's just rambling. I don't know if you ever been to court or not. If you ever been to court, they don't ramble like that. They say exactly what we here for. Step by step. This ain't nobody at no podium giving a long speech like the DA was. It's not like being in a press conference when you go to court. It's not like that. No, you go, a person, every time anybody speaks, whether it's the judge, the DA, or your attorney, they get to the point. This is what we here for today. This is what you being charged for. And whoop-de-doo and whoop-de-doo. There's no confusion. They like, hey, are you such and such? Yes or no? You know, everything is straight to the point. There's no fluff. That's how it is when you go to court. And everything moves slow. Nothing happens fast in court. You know? So what you have with Puffy, they're assassinating his character. It's a smear campaign. Now, whether he gets out of this or not, ain't nobody gonna fuck with him no more anyway. Because they're assassinating his character, just like they did Bill Cosby. Nobody wants to fuck with Bill Cosby no more. You know, his reputation is shot. It's gonna be shot. It's already shot right now. Nobody wants. People don't even want to talk. They don't even want to call his name no more in the media. But if you ask some of these entertainers, if they get asked, hey, what do you think about Diddy? They don't even want to answer the question. They don't even want to talk about him. So the damage is already done. Even if he doesn't end up going to prison, the damage is already done. It's over. He gonna have to get into something else. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing in the music business no more. I know that much. He gonna have to do something else. You know, something that don't got nothing to do with the music business no more. You know? He probably gonna have to move somewhere else in another country, some shit like that. You know, or just lay low for a couple of years, and you know, slowly but surely people will forget, and then he'll have to rebuild his reputation all over again. You know, that happens. But I mean, the shit is, and you know, and the last thing I'll say is this: when it comes to federal cases, there's no law against having parties. That's not a crime. You know, the state can come in and say, hey, it's a crime to be a pedophile or some shit like that, sleeping with underage kids or something like that or whatever. But on a federal level, it's not. And this ain't a state case. So what's this about? This is much bigger than just what they say it is. You know what I'm saying? this is way deeper and bigger than what they're saying. And they're not really saying much. They're just throwing out random shit. Keep talking about Cassie, this and I feel so bad about Cassie. I don't really feel bad about Cassie. I feel bad that maybe she got her ass whipped. But when I saw that video the first time, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers is on drugs. Both of them. They both need help. Well, ain't no regular thinking man is gonna beat a woman down like that. Yeah, you might slap a woman or shake them up a little bit. You ain't gonna put foot on a bitch. No, when you put foot on a bitch, stomping the bitch out, that's them narcotics. You done OD'd. You're it's something else in your system making you act like that. Just based on my experience living, being around people, that ain't no regular thinking man gonna beat a woman down like that. That's all I'm saying. There's something else going on with him. So when I saw the video with him and Cassie, they on that dope. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you tell me what you think below. You know, this is based on my experience or whatever and how I see things. Tell me how you see it. You might think, oh, he's a weirdo, degenerate freak. He deserves it. But see, the problem with that way of thinking is if that happened to him, that can happen to me. I'm not immune to being jammed up and mistreated within the court system. You're not either. You got to remember, he's a proxy for what could happen to me or you. That's why I don't think like that. I don't, just because somebody's a degenerate freak or weirdo, I don't say they deserve to be mistreated. No, that's not a good way to think at all, you know? So you tell me what you think below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.